I'm about to start a bracelet. So let me just adjust the camera. There we go. So that you can see how it started, and it's ended pretty much the same way. But these are the needles that I like to use. They have these, like, they're really short and strong. And I'll show you. And they're teensy weensy. These are size 11. So you can, they will fit through our seed beads a couple times, but that's it. If you want to do peyote stitch or some of the other bead weaves where you go through the beads a number of times, 4 or 5 times, then you'll get like size 12 or something smaller. Size 10 would be a fatter, size 12 would be skinnier. So I like these a lot. They have these long, really long ones that aren't very sturdy. They will bend a lot and break. It's not breaking easily, but believe me, had it happen way too many times. So I like these sharps. And then the thread that we're using for this size bead is a size D. And I took the end and I'm stretching my left arm all the way out as far as it'll go, and I'm gonna do that twice, so it's twice the length of my left arm to the camera, because we're going to fold it in half. And I lick the end. Now when you're threading a needle, let's see how the camera, I want the camera to see this, but focusing on that little eye is hard. Huh. It's a little eye. I hold the thread short between my thumb and forefinger, and then try to slide the needle on. It's hard looking through the camera and getting it to focus, so hang on. I'm looking around the camera, so you probably won't see it as well, but there. Nope. So sometimes it takes a couple tries. The ends get frayed, and that's okay. That happens to all of us. Scissors is not very sharp. Alright, so I'm cutting it short, and I just want the little bitty tip of the thread, enough to put my there, like that, and then I bring the needle to it, and because it's so short, it tends to stay a little more rigid than if you have a long piece sticking out. I'm gonna have to do it out of view of the camera because you gotta hold it up to the light. So pardon me while I thread my needle. Yeah, I got it on, and it's a little. One of the threads isn't quite in there, and I'm just gonna let it slide right over that. So the end will be a little frayed, and it doesn't matter. So I'm gonna find my other end and put them together, and I'm doing that off camera, so sorry. I don't have like a little camera master here to zoom in and out at whim. Or if I had a third hand, that would be great. Rather funny looking. Alright, so here's my ends. I think some of the thread is wrapped around the camera. I'm going to tie a little overhand knot, and then I'll cut the ends. I'll leave okay, note to self, get better scissors. Bugger. Alright, and then I'm going to take the end a little lighter, and I'm going to melt the end, and because this is a synthetic thread, it's going to make a little bead. So here, let's lay this. I think I have to press the child safety button. There we go. Try not to burn the camera or my fingers. Okay, see that? There's like a little lump on the end of it, and that's going to help keep it from going through the beads. So now I'm centering my needle on the thread, and then I'm going to put a stop bead on my needle. You can put 1 or 2 beads. Let's stick them down here. 1, 2, I'll use 2. And you can cut these off later. Now, I'm going to take them almost to the end of the thread, so I'm pulling my needle to the right and almost to the end. Now, I'm going to go through those 2 beads again. I like to, see how I like to wrap things around my finger and get some tension? Because then they don't squiggle out of the way, which they love to do. So I went up those beads the same direction that I did the first time, and I'll show you in a second when I get the thread pulled closer. And it likes to make a little snarl, and just see, be patient with it, and it tends to work itself out. So what I've done, I'll try to hold this up, there we go, is make a circle, and then when you pull it tight like that, the beads kind of stay there. They're stop beads. They'll keep the other beads, they'll stop them from sliding off. And we'll cut this off later because we don't want those beads on our bracelet. But this is a good time to use our beeswax. It's when the oops, knocking things over. I'm using them on both sides gently. You won't see any clumps of wax. You won't see any coating. So got my stop bead. We're gonna start. Now I'm giving you, in the directions I'm giving you, pull out some of these guys. It might be easier. 1, 2, 3. Oops, 3, 4. Alright, I've got 4 beads on my needle. I'm going to pull them down to the stop bead. There you go. And now I'm going to fold them in half and make a circle. So I'm going to go up where my left thumb is. I'm going to put the needle at the bottom of that bead. I'm trying to see, there's a focus, it's okay there. So let's hold, I'm just going to hold them like this way. Reach out and grab my needle with my right hand. And you can hold it like that, which is kind of squiggly, and put it up the left 2 beads, or you can simply hold it like this, which is easier to hold the thread tie. And it's making another circle like I did on the stop bead, and my thread is slipping through. See, it's a circle. And but because they're square, they lay nice and flat like a 4 square. You don't need to pull it up to the stop bead. This is good. It's kind of creating its own stop bead. You don't even have to have a stop bead. See how I'm wrapping it around my fingers again? I'm getting 2 more beads. Now I came out that one, so I'm going to go in the other end of it. Ooh. Actually, in the instructions, I think it says to go in here so that you come out next to your end thread. So I'll do that. Whoops. I'm knocking the camera. Okay. So it's a little awkward to hold at first. It's a little squiggly. And that's why I have these, here, let's center that again. That's why I have this little way of wrapping, holding things so that I can see what I'm doing. So now our beginning thread with the stop beads on the left, and we're coming out the bottom of this right column. So we're going to pick up 2 beads and go down those 2. So we came out one end of that column, we're going down. So this is called ladder stitch. There I go. Oops, I got the thread all wrapped around the camera tripod and everything. Give me a second while I jiggle the picture for you. Hang on. There we go. I hope this is going to be a lot easier for you because you won't have the camera in the way. Pulling, and I have my thread long so that I don't have to tie on as many pieces. So I'm coming out the middle column, and I want to go up and come out the top of there. So let me grab my needle again, and then so you can see. My stop beads on the left. Pull that tight. Wrap my fingers around it and then tap that into place. So the first row is always squiggly like this. It's just kind of annoying. Which is why I showed you the rest of the stitch first, so that you would see how much easier it is. This can be daunting looking, but once you do it, it's like, oh yeah. So I'm picking up 2 more beads, and I came out the top of that column. I'm going to go in the bottom, and we're making another circle like we did on our stop beads. And watch, this is going faster because I have more to grab onto. Alright, now I need to come out. I need to do this. Trying to, okay, I'm looking around the camera. There. So now I'm coming out the end. So we're going to start beading, and I'm going to use that as the top for my row. Like in the other bracelet. We're going to get 2 beads, go down the middle, right one. Now the first 2 rows are kind of square looking, and here we go. Remember, we just kind of pull those out and be patient and kind of tap them into place. There we go. Gonna go up this middle one. And we're gonna get on 2 more beads. Square beads. 1, 2. And go down there. And I'm just ignoring my tail thread. You can actually, you can get that out of the way even if you want. So I'm ignoring my tail thread. And I'm going down the outside bead. Alright? And remember how I flip it around? And I'm just holding that puppy there. Actually, what you can do at this point is you can kind of cut it shorter with your dull scissors. And just let it we'll deal with that later. Alright. But at least it's not in the way. Now I'm gonna get my needle. So, I flipped it. We're starting from the right side again. I'll pat those down. And we're gonna do our 2 outside seed beads. So, or 3. It's up to you. You can do more and make a little loop or whatever. But we've given you enough for 3. And then go up that one. So I didn't have that pulled tight. That's better. Probably could just use 2. I'm going to come back out and just use 2. These beads seem a little bigger. I stopped at Michael's yesterday and picked up a few, these silver square beads and these seed beads, and they. Alright, I took off one. The other one's floating out here on the right, and gonna pull things taut. See how that end bead, the end tail string, it just hangs there. At this point, it's pretty well secure in there, but I like to just deal with it later. Alright, I've got my 2 beads on the side. Now, I'm going to repeat from now on. Put 2 cube beads. These are 4mm cube beads. And go down the middle one. And up. I can't see through the camera very well, so I'm gonna go down the middle one. Oop, my scissors got in the way, and now they're tangled up. Hang on just a second. So we'll do one more row and then nice. I got a little snarl. Sometimes you just gotta slowly it's a lot easier when you're not working on a camera, and I usually keep my scissors out of the way. So I'm gonna go up the middle one. And I just pat everybody here. Did I snarl it? Nope. Get 2 more cube beads. Go down the left. Pat those 2 down. You see it's taking shape. It's wonky at first, which is why I didn't show you this part first. Once you get past it, now from now on it should be smooth sailing. I'm getting 2 more seed beads on. And we're ready to do the next row. I can, at any point, so finishing these ends off, this is an okay point to, let me get my other scissors. This is a good point. Oh, what's up with these? There we go. Cut that. And then I use my thumb to kind of pat it in there, and it kind of hides itself. So we have that, and the little split down the middle is what we want. And then we turn it around. And we're ready to add more cube beads and keep going like in the first video.